Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been so excited to get something started? Maybe a business, a project, and then several months down the line, you felt like giving up. Probably because you are not getting the desired result that you want. Well, I'm glad I got your attention because today I will be discussing with you the foundation for success. Well, this is Masterpiece Inspiration, where we bring you inspirations to help you rise above the challenges of life and maximize your potential so that you can start living a purpose-driven life. My name is Clems. I'm your host. So let's dive in. So probably you are so excited. You get this project started, get this business started, and you have all this vision. And then several months down the line, you are not getting enough traction. You are not seeing the impact of those things that you had in mind when you started. And then all of a sudden, you feel like, wow, is this worth it? Why did I get myself into this thing? Well, I want you to look at it from this angle. I want you to visualize this. You see, you live in a neighborhood. Say you are living in a neighborhood. Wherever you are at the moment watching me, let me say a big shout out to all our fans of Masterpiece Inspiration. So wherever you are watching me now, let me assume that you have lived in this neighborhood for quite a long time. So you know the topography very well, you know the terrain, you know the people, and so on and so forth. So let's say one day you were having a walk or you are driving by, and all of a sudden you see a building that you have never seen before, and you were shocked. You were like, wow, when did this building spring up? Well, you see, people never take cognizance of foundation or structure of something, probably a building. You normally pass by, you wouldn't notice it because there is a lot of groundwork going on there. It's not noticeable. But immediately that beautiful building springs up, everybody will be like, wow, that's amazing. When did this building, what's happening here? Likewise, that's the same thing that applies to the journey of success. You see, when you are putting in all the effort, it's like building a foundation. When you are putting in all the time, it's like you are building that foundation, the strong foundation for your success. People don't observe that. People don't know what's going on. But you, the visionary, knows the effort you are putting in. So you don't need to be shocked. When people perhaps they ridicule you, why are you always doing? Why are you wasting all this time? What are you doing? Come on, let's do that. Because they are not seeing the foundation. Just like the building, nobody takes notice of it. But because you have the big picture, you've seen it, you know what you are building. You know what's going into that. You alone is the one that can see it. No other person can see it. That's why you don't need to be discouraged or be shocked. Because anything that is worthwhile, any successful venture was built on a strong foundation. So if you go into, you started a business, you started a project, bear in mind that you need to build this foundation, and that foundation has to be strong. So how do you go about? How do you now manage the situation? Whereby you are putting in the efforts, you are putting in the time, you are doing all you know what to do, and you are not really seeing that result. How do you do with situations like that? Well, first thing first, we need to be clear on this. There is nothing as overnight success. It's just a myth. It's a myth peddled by people who only focus on the finished product. They don't see what goes into the foundation. So they say, oh, an overnight success. Nothing like an overnight success. Because there is always a combination of people, process, system, and other things that goes into the foundation. And you've been digging in, you've been doing that for a long time. The only time people will observe it is when they see the finished product. They will be like, wow, overnight success. Nothing like that. So if you are at this moment going through, putting in so much effort, and it looks like you are not seeing the results because people are not, perhaps they are not appreciative, they are discouraging, they are not supportive, don't be discouraged, because you are building a foundation and you have the big picture. Remember, they don't see what you have seen. You are trying to bring out an idea into manifestation. So you will be ready to see it through. Okay? Now, remember that let's take an example of what Thomas Edison said. You see, Thomas Edison, the famous inventor of electric light bulb. Remember what he said sometime, when he was asked, why is it that you failed for 10,000 times without giving up? What was his answer? He said no, he did not fail. That he only found 10,000 ways that it could not work. You see that? So what basically what he has done is that he's used what is perceived as failure. He used it as a feedback for his final breakthrough. So he didn't allow it to be a showstopper to say, wow, it's not working out. Rather, he turned it into a feedback. 10,000 ways that it could not work is now a feedback for the final breakthrough. And likewise, that's how you can deal with situations whereby you are putting in all the effort, you are doing whatever you know what to do, is not working out. Use that as feedback, iteration. There's nothing like failure, they are all feedbacks. Okay? And don't take it personal when people are not encouraging, they are not supportive, because they can't see the big picture. You are the only one that can see that. So what you now do is to test, use it as a feedback, go back to the drawing board, add all those feedback to your foundation in order to help you to build that strong foundation for your success. And I know that it could be quite difficult. It will be difficult to hold on and to follow this, because when you are building something, oftentimes you in as much as you have the vision of what you want to build, you don't know how it will pan out. So it could get a bit, it could get discouraged, especially when you are not seeing the support, you are not seeing the encouragement, you are putting in effort, you are putting in time, you are putting in money. You have to use the whole stuff as a feedback. Wise testing. Going back to your drawing board, what can we do? What can I do better? What can I add to this foundation? To build it and make it strong. So never forget the reason why you started in the first place, because there's got to be a why. Why did you start in the first place? So that when you feel like throwing in a towel, you will remember, this is the reason why I started this in the first place. So there is foundation for every success. Success is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a progressive achievement of a worthy goal, a purpose. So when you bear that in mind, and you know that this is a foundation that I'm building, and I'm the one that has the big picture. And just like every building, people don't see the foundation. They focus on the facade, the massive, the building, the beauty of it. That's the same way it is when you are building something, a business, a project. The same principle is applicable to both business and personal life. Okay? Maybe you are raising a family, you are newly married or you're in a relationship, people don't see all the dramas that goes behind the facade of this the relationship. When you are smiling, so people don't see what goes on behind. But it is only you that knows that the efforts you are putting in them, the trainings, all the dramas that goes there, before you can now, come out, before you can now make it to work. Because there are processes, there are systems that you have to now put together to make these things work. But it follows, it all goes into your foundation. So I would like us also look at other distractions. What are the distractions? What are the things that can affect your ability to focus on building the foundation for your success? What are the things that can affect it? Especially in an age where we have, the social media, and there is an increase in the so-called overnight success. Okay, because whilst you are building this, you can be, you can look out and see other people. They feel like, wow, they have just achieved it. They have done that. But at times, things that seems to be glittering, things that seems to be true, when you dig deep, you find out that they have not built anything on the foundation. It's all a facade. But what I want you to do for me now, I want you to leave a comment below. I want to hear from you. I want to find out, what are your biggest obstacles and discouragements? How did you deal with it? Did you give up? Were you about to give up? Or did you find a way out to continue building your foundation? I would like to hear from you. Once more, this is Clems of Masterpiece Inspiration. I will be bringing this episode to an end today, and we will continue the discussion, the foundation for success, because there is a foundation for everything successful. There is a foundation. It's in fact in my book called the Success Signature, which is practical guide for living a daily life. I had a chapter there where I discuss about the law of strong foundation, and I think it will do you good if you grab a copy. I will leave it in the comment below, because we need to understand the laws that guide the success of life, both spiritual laws and physical laws, and then that will enable us to shape and to be able to be well informed when we face obstacles on our journey to building a successful business, personal life, career, and so on and so forth. Thank you once more, and I look forward to hearing from you. See you later. Bye.